another Loc Talk, and today I am here with my lovely Shanta. So we're here with another Loc Talk, and just wanted to tell you guys, please make sure if you're liking and enjoying my content, make sure you definitely subscribe, share, and like. And I appreciate all the comments that you guys have been leaving. Let me know how much you enjoy Loc Talk. And I enjoy them myself, and my clients love them. So I look forward to many more, and look forward to you guys watching my Loc Talk. First of all, just let us know about your lock journey. How did you come to the point where you're like, okay, I want to get locks in my hair. I want to lock my hair.
Okay, so I've been locked now about 6 years, I would say.
Okay.
And the way it actually came about is a quite interesting story that I'm sure a lot of you might relate to, just in the culture and society that we live in. You know, we're kind of, it's ingrained in us that beauty means long, straight hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it means.
Yeah.
And I fell into that, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a child of a salon person. My mom did hair growing up, and we.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know.
No.
Oh goodness, yeah. Okay. See, we'll learn something new about each other.
Right.
So, yeah, my mom did hair in a salon for years, and weave was the thing, and so I saw it for a long time, and I saw women coming in with their natural hair, because that was when sew-ins were like really popular, the enclosures, full enclosures, and so you didn't even see their hair. And I saw them come in with hats, with bonnets, with anything to essentially cover their hair until they got this weave redone. And that's when you saw the confidence. That's when you saw their inner light shine, because now they felt good about themselves, and it was all tied to this hair. And I grew up seeing that. And so I naturally gravitated towards that, and in music videos, and that was just a symbol of beauty. And I found myself literally not wanting to go out to events, not wanting to go on dates, like not wanting to do anything without my hair being done. And I'm talking together. I did the bundled hair, Brazilian, all these kind of hair, and it was quite expensive. The hair alone was about $300 to get the amount that I needed.
Some are more expensive now.
Well, yeah, we're talking 6 years ago.
Now, honey, woo!
Yeah, I mean, I'm going back some time with that price. That would be a steal nowadays. And that was just the hair alone. The installations were about $150, which also is not bad, you know, comparing it to now. Plus the tip. So you're looking at $300 for the hair, $200 with the tip for installation. That's $500 plus.
And how often were you getting that done?
Like every 2 months. And I was not reusing the hair because...
So every 8 weeks, you're paying $500
yeah,
to get your hair done.
Exactly.
Ooh,
but to me, it was worth it because that was my confidence. That was my beauty. So, you know, you paid for what made you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to a point where I got married, and my husband finally was like, what is it? Why can I not touch your hair? I know this sounds crazy.
No, it's real though. Don't touch my hair.
It was a thing. Like, it really was a thing. And my husband, and he's African American, but his mom is really old school. She's a roller set lady. Like, no weave, no that stuff. She's a plain Jane kind of girl, which is cool, you know. So he didn't understand this whole concept of what is this. He's the only child, no sisters. He don't know what this thing is. So he just got to the point, like, why can I not touch your hair? And then why can we not go out? Like, I made plans. Why are you throwing this ugly hat on? And we're going to this nice restaurant. And that's when I had to take a step back. Like, wait a minute. I'm literally not living my best life because I don't have this hair done.
I mean, I remember in high school, you know, growing up in Miami, if you did not have your hair done for back to school, you were not going to school. If your hair was not done before you had to go to school, you were not going to school. And it's just that serious. Like, we did not play about our hair. If our hair was not done, We ain't going to school, we ain't going to church, we ain't going anywhere because your hair is not done.
That's right.
So I can relate. I remember those days.
Yeah, and that's kind of how we grow up. And then now combine that, now you're an adult, and then you have these images of beauty and music videos, TV, and you combine that with how you're just kind of, bred when you grow up, and there you have a perfect storm of a culture of women whose confidence and sense of beauty and style is tied to what's mainstream. And unfortunately, for most African American women, we don't have long straight hair naturally. That's not what we have. And there's nothing wrong with that. We are beautiful. And I had to learn that. So the short of it is, the reason I got my hair locked was because it was more of me embracing my natural beauty and understanding that I am beautiful without all this extra.
Wow. And that's a hard truth to come to, because well, some people don't even know they're beautiful. Some people don't even know that. Yeah. But you look at social media or you look at the media and you're just like, okay, according to the media, this is what is deemed beautiful, and I don't fall into that category,
right.
And so that's, to come to that realization, like, I am beautiful. It takes a lot. It takes, being surrounded by people who are going to remind you of who you are. And
that's right.
And a lot of us don't have that, That's the unfortunate part. So since you've been locked, how has your lock journey been?
And I think journey is actually the perfect word for it. Because it's not like, oh, you lock your hair and then boom, oh, I'm so beautiful. Look at my natural. Like, no, this is not like how it goes. So you get it done and you hate it. And you look in the mirror and you cry and you're like, I hate this. I don't like this. I look like a plucked chicken. And, you go through like all of these emotions.
Honestly, for me, I never went through those emotions.
Oh, God.
I was just happy with my hair from day one. But a lot of people are like, oh no. But go ahead.
It's a journey because you have it. It's like you're literally reborn in the sense that you are finding your you're finding your beauty. So, yeah, it's. I mean, think about it. You go from a little girl getting your hair pressed for picture day and it's straight and it's long and you love it, and you go through all of that growing up, and now boom, you're looking at what God gave you, which is gorgeous, but you have to now believe that and accept that. So just because you get your hair locked or you go natural, that epiphany is not an overnight process. It truly is a journey. So when I first got it done, I hated it. I wanted to wear a wig. Sometimes I did. And then to your point, it takes supportive people around you. My husband was extremely supportive, and my mom, even my dad, who's like really not into the whole girly stuff, they were so supportive, and they were like, this is beautiful, see it through. You're already ready to go back to what you had before. You didn't even give you a chance. And that was almost a direct quote from my mom. You didn't even give you a chance. And I thought that was so profound, right? And I was like, right. And then my stylist was saying, remember, you wear the hair does not wear you. So you figure out the way that you like to wear your hair. You want to do curls? Fine. We'll do curls. We'll do what you want to do, but see the process through. And it took a lot of that. I mean, it seemed like almost every other month I was like, I'm ready to be done with this and go back to what I had. But then as it grew, and here's another thing. You know when you do something right for yourself, and almost like your psyche or the inner you, I know that sounds a little weird, when you've done something positive for yourself because of how your body reacts to it. My hair took off. I did not know that my hair could grow like this long by itself. I had no idea that I could even have long hair. I had no idea that I could do so much with my own hair and look as much, if not way more beautiful than I did with weave and wigs and lace fronts and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never, and one more thing, the freedom that you find in your journey is amazing.
Mm.
You dump all of these 1,000,001 hair products that you have to take with you on vacation. Your bag is 20 pounds lighter because you don't have 1,000,000 products in it. Your hair grows and it feels good because it's not gooked up with products that, oh, half of them don't work, by the way. And then you go to the beach and you kind of see the different cultures of women. They don't go through all of these changes to get in the water or to enjoy a day in the beach or at the pool. They don't go through that. They just frolic and enjoy their life.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones sitting around here, I can't get my hair wet. So the freedom that I started to experience with that, I realized, wait a minute, we have just as much freedom as cultures who have different textured hair. We have the same freedom. It becomes a choice for us.
Right.
And so I chose me in the end, like my mom said. And that was the journey, just realizing that I can be just as free and be just as happy loving me the way I am.
Now, did you have any, come across any type of obstacles with your hair?
So I have, yes is the short answer. And I'll give you just a quick example of a time. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. So I work a corporate job. Very, very straight-laced kind of environment. Predominantly white males, very few women, and even fewer women of color or minority women. So when you get to a certain position, there is almost a status quo or protocol of how everyone starts to look. It's almost like a uniform. And I can tell you this uniform does not entail natural hair in any form, let alone locked hair. And so when it was short, it was fine. It was fine because nobody even understood what it was, and I wore it curly, and it just looked like I had curled hair from a distance or whatever. But as it started to grow and it became clearer that I had locks, that's when you would kind of get the double takes in the hallway, or someone comes into your office and they're talking to you but they're staring at your head the whole time, trying to figure out exactly what that was. So one incident that really, really stood out in my mind, just to show you what I dealt with on a daily basis, the director of our region at the time, we went to a business lunch and there was a girl, beautiful hair. She had the most naturally curly coiled hair, and it was just kind of free and it had the coils, and I just thought it was so, so beautiful. And she was sitting at the table across, and he says to me, "So is that what you're trying to do with your hair? Do you like that?" And what? I said, yeah. And it wasn't like a question. And he's an African American male, which was like amazing for him to reach this pinnacle, because a black man in that position was rare. In fact, there were only 2 in the entire country at the time. And so he says to me, "Do you like that? Is that what you're trying to do with your hair?" And I said, and I'm almost ashamed to say, I was like, no, because I just felt like that was the right answer, by the tone of the question. But in my heart, I loved her hair. I thought it was beautiful. It was so gorgeous. But I knew that by the tone of the question that he was implying that should not be what I'm aiming for if that's where this is headed. Okay. So, and oh, by the way, he's the person responsible for my promotions and how I fare in my career. So, and I was afraid to speak up about it. And those were kind of the things that I encountered. I had another person an immediate supervisor one time during a one-on-one. You do those mid-year reviews and then the end of the year review, and he said I needed to work on my comportment.
Now, what does that mean?
Basically how you present yourself. And so I had more specific questions because I speak very well. I'm educated. I'd like to think I'm intelligent.
You are. You are very intelligent.
But I don't want to come across, boastful.
Okay.
But girl, yeah, I'm pretty smart. So, and I speak well. So, and I dress very, very professionally too at work. So I knew it was none of that. My work, I always got excellent reviews. So I'm okay. Like, what is this? Let's be more specific. And people are not. They're not gonna come out with this thing here.
No.
So finally, he says, "Well, there is a protocol just professionally of how we typically look, and for the most part you do well, you meet that." So he's like beating around the bush, and I could tell.
So what is it?
So finally I should have just let him grovel, but I said, "It's my hair, huh?" And he's, you could see the relief just kind of like come over the guy. Because he didn't want to be the one to say it.
Oh my goodness.
So I just said, okay, let's have a real conversation here. I said, I'm not going to HR. I'm not filing grievances. None of that. Can we just chat realistically here? Because he was a white male. And I said, I know this isn't coming from you because I've worked for you for several years, and this is, I don't think this is coming from you. He says, no, honestly, it's not, but it's something that was mentioned to me, and I really want you to do well, and I'm mentioning it because, not that, excuse me, I dislike it or I have a problem with it. I just don't want it to hold you back. Thought that was interesting.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just a glimpse into some of the things that I've had to deal with. And this is the other thing. You go from those challenges to the other side of the coin where people are so intrigued that they must touch it. That's another challenge. That's a conversation, a different question. But yeah, those were the challenges I had in the workplace predominantly. That's where I had the challenges.
Did you have any with like friends and family, any challenges? Because you know how sometimes, we're so accustomed to doing things a certain way or looking a certain way. And sometimes I know for some people when they get locks, it's shocking to family members or friends. And, did you get any feedback, or what was the feedback that people were giving you, family and stuff, when you got it?
It went from, I have a very positive family, and they're good. From the old school, like if you have nothing nice to say, kind of don't say anything. So it went from, I like it, to no comment. And the no comment means, I ain't really feeling that, So, but I didn't get anything negative because, like I said, my family's very supportive, and they'd rather not say anything than to say something hurtful. So, the ones that didn't like it, I don't know. I kind of know because they didn't say anything. But
now, now that is,
Oh my goodness. Now, like, everybody wants them. My sister wants locks. My niece got locks. Like, sister locks. Like, all of it's like a wave. 4 of my closest friends have locks. One of them actually comes to Pauline. And actually 2 more would have come to Pauline if she was accepting more clients. But yeah, so yeah, now, but I mean, we're in a different age now too. We've entered a time where people want to embrace themselves more. They do.
We're tired putting on. Yeah.
And I think now there's a much greater sense of sisterhood and support. And no, you are beautiful. You're enough the way you are. And because of that, which I think is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And because of that, there isn't a stigma so much attached to it anymore. Locks are not dirty. It doesn't mean you don't wash your hair. All of those misconceptions and just misinformation.
Right.
all that's kind of being pushed to the wayside. So it's a lot better.
Yeah, because definitely more and more people, I mean, kids, babies, everybody, more and more people are doing it. There's still some negative stuff that people, tie to it, but for the most part, it's becoming more and more acceptable, I feel like.
Yeah. Now, the baby thing in it, that's a bit controversial.
Why do you say that?
I know. Some of you may not like this statement. Disclaimer. But my personal opinion is that I feel like locks are a commitment, and it's a decision that person should make for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like a baby or a child necessarily understands that choice. Now, I will say this. I do have a friend whose daughter was like, Mommy, I want sisterlocks. And she was reluctant to do it because she felt like, you don't know. And the girl kept going. And finally, the little girl went on for 3 years. And she said, fine, I'll do it. And the little girl loves the hair. She still has the hair. So that's kind of a one-off of the anomaly. But my personal opinion overall is that that's something that a decision that a person needs to make for themselves when they're old enough to understand the commitment involved.
And I agree, because at the end of the day, you're wearing the hair and you got to be able to defend it, protect it, do all that stuff.
Yeah, because it's not going to be easy. There are going to be people who don't like it. Honestly, I do believe there was some promotions or positions that I was overlooked for because of it. I do believe that. I can't prove it, but when I believe that. So a person has to be ready for that, and you can't defend or stand proud of something that wasn't your decision.
Yeah, I agree.
Or that you don't even like, but this is what your parent says they have to do because they don't want to comb your hair. Like that. That's not fair to the child.
So is there anything about your hair that you're like, oh, I wish it would have been this or that, or any challenges you've had with your own hair as far as dealing with it, or?
No. I just wish I had did this 10 years ago. If not longer. No. The thing that I will say for anybody who is thinking about it, I will tell you, you may go through some stages where you don't like it. Me, I always liked long hair, and so I didn't like the short stage. I didn't like the what they call teenage stage, where it's maturing, and just like a teenager, it's not doing what you want it to do. It's kind of doing its own thing and growing in its own patterns, and I wanted it to grow even. It grew in layers. It just did whatever it wanted, and I didn't like that because when it was short, I could just put rollers in it and I just had my look. But as it got longer in that in-between stage, and then it didn't style as easily. So those were the challenges that I had. Yeah, those were the challenges that I had mostly.
Okay. Aww. Well, Shanta, thank you so much for sharing. I talk to my clients all the time, so I enjoy hearing their journey, how it's going, and anytime my clients start complaining anything negatively about their hair, I'm ready to set them on the right path, because it is a process, it is a journey. Everybody's hair is different, and even on your own head, you'll have some locks that are different from others. So I always try to tell people, don't compare your locks, please. Don't compare, because it's your own, your own journey, your own set of locks. Do not compare. So anything else you'd like to share before we end?
Just embrace the beauty that is you.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my video with anyone you know who may need this encouragement, may need to hear some of this. So thank you, and see y'all next time.